Give me 1 second. I need to find. गणानान्त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीर्नामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामवित्र्यवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ श्री साईश्वराय नमः हरिः ॐ अवतत्यधनुः अवतत्येत्यव तत्य धनुस्त्वं त्वगुं सहस्राक्ष सहस्राक्षशतेषुधे सहस्राक्षेति सहस्राक्षेति सहस्र शतेषुध इति शत ईषुधे निशीर्य शल्याना निशीर्येति निशीर्य शल्यानां मुखा शल्यानां मुखा मुखा शिवः शिवो नः न सुमना 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 भव सुमना इति सुमना भवेति भव अवतत्य धनुः अवतत्येत्यवतत्य धनुस्त्वं त्वगुं सहस्राक्ष सहस्राक्ष शतेषुधे सहस्राक्षेति सहस्र अक्ष शतेषुध इति शत ईषुधे निशीर्य शल्यानाम् निशीर्येति निशीर्य शल्यानां मुखा मुखा शिवः शिवो नः न सुमना 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 भव सुमना इति सुमना भवेति भव. Sai Ram, offering our love to Bhagwan's divine lotus feet. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Hari Om, Shalom, Sai Ram, Namaste. We are studying the Krama Patham, and those that don't even know Rudram should actually listen to this, because you will get much better clarity of what are the words and the pronunciations and everything associated, the deeper meaning associated with all the different aspects of Sri Rudram. This result, I think I shared this with many of you, experience of a Japanese brother who literally cured himself of paralysis and stroke just by using Rudram. He didn't even have the script, how to read Sanskritam, nothing. We are all very fortunate that you can at least place the sound on some kind of a representation on a paper. Imagine if you have no context at all to these letters or the alphabet or the words, and your language doesn't even have those syllables. How would you learn Rudram? Hmm? People that experimented with this is not like some, high funda philosophy or some metta vedanta, as they call, useless philosophy. This is practical. Just the aspect about sharpening your intellect and your speech and purifying the thought. Practical benefit, material benefit. If you actually know how to pronounce those syllables and produce the vibration, and pay attention to how sound is produced in your body, that is therapy. That's a healing. There are only two things that you can practically connect to. One is breathing, other is speaking, meaning, your own experience of it. And so this brother actually wrote the entire Rudram with pictures of where the tongue touches. Pictures. And practiced, and completely recovered from speech. Tongue was completely paralyzed. Entire body that was paralyzed recovered from that when he was 75 years old. So look at the potential that we have. Look at the potential of the human mind and the human body, what it can really do. That is the point of it. Avatatya dhanuhu. This is the mantra that we studied last week. Now this week we'll go into Vijjandhanuhu. Vijjandhanuhu kapardinaha. Vijjandhanuhu kapardinaha Vishalyaha Banavan utaha An Shan Asyaha Ishavaha Abhuhu Asya Nishangatihi. This is the next mantra, the mantra number 12 of Sri Rudram, first Anuvakam. I'll keep repeating until you all get this very clear what the first five mantras are about. This is, you have to do an executive summary every time. What is the first five mantras about? What are the next mantra about? What are the next three mantras about? What are the next three mantras about? Only then when you chant Rudram, you see, um, people are thinking only chanting Rudram, I'm done. No, can you chant actually with integrated meaning as you chant it. Ardhanusandhana Purvakam, we say in Devi Matyam. Integrating the meaning while you are chanting. Now, people that are incapable of doing it say, oh, there is no meaning for Rudram, there is no need for you to learn meaning for Veda mantras. All of this stuff is focusing on incapabilities. It is true at highest spiritual point of time, at the highest spiritual, when the intellect and the mind doesn't even exist, of course there is no meaning. You understand the logic of that? When there is no mind, there is no intellect that is present, how can there be meaning? That is what it means that Veda mantras don't have meaning. But for ordinary people who are not even in that awareness level, there is meaning. There is practical awareness where you can actually apply your mind and intellect. And when that happens and happens and happens through intense sadhana that happens, then what happens is only the Brahman remains, the consciousness remains, and there is no mind and intellect present to connect. It's they are merged in that awareness. That is what it means. Veda mantras have no meaning. That is the ultimate. That's called Parama Artha. Paramartha. But here you have to now go into this Antarartha. The first chanting perfection is the first step. The next step is Antarartha. How do you take that mantra and now go inside with that mantra? Going inside with that mantra. And when we start going inside with that mantra, then what happens? Everything starts turning inside. Avatatya dhanuhu. Avatatya dhanuhu. Why I am going through all of this? Because the 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th is all about going inside. Huh? The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is all about purity. And that purity is 100% Vak Shuddhi, Chitta Shuddhi. Vak Shuddhi, Chitta Shuddhi will actually make you aware of your breath, or completely becoming aware of the breath also leads to Vak Shuddhi, Chitta Shuddhi. They are interconnected. Your thought, and your word are interconnected. This is ultimate science. I'm not talking some Rudra meaning this body is trained in science. Therefore, this body will always look at anything scientifically, not otherwise. This mind is research oriented. Therefore, it is completely analytical. And if without this, if you are a great scientist, then you will be 100% a great spiritual person. They're integrated. If you are a great spiritual person, automatically you will be scientific. This is Swami Ranganathanandaji's words of Ramakrishna Math. And these words are etched on my mind because he came to Indian Institute of Science when I was doing my PhD there, and he gave a talk on science and spirituality to all the scientists in Indian Institute of Science, the premier institute of science across the world actually. And he was talking about how science and spirituality are so interconnected, but the perverted scientific mind looks at spirituality as an aberration because of lack of evidence. But these are Swamiji's words. And then he started talking about why bats are present only in a Shivalayam and not in a Vishnu Alayam. It's like a great spiritual person talking science. And the physicist in the room, and I was a friend of mine who was a physicist sitting next to me. He was baffled. He was saying, "My God, how does this person know so much science?" And as he was asking me that question, Swamiji says, "A great spiritual person is an ultimate scientist, and a scientist in perfection is a great spiritual person." They are integrated. Vijjandhanuhu kapardinaha. So the purity and integrity of the thought, word, and speech is the first five ruks, and then that is associated with the body and the perceptual senses. The sixth anuvaka, the sixth ruk, the seventh ruk, eighth ruk, and ninth ruk is all about emotions associated with the mind, as in fear, as in judgment, as in pleasure, as in desire. You see how scientific that is. You just look at how scientific it is. How the rooks are actually focusing on you, on each of us. When I say you, not you personally, on each and every one of us. But we are failing to look what these mantras about, and we are carried away by simples, by what we call as simplistic, ritualistic processes. But when they are integrated, the ritual becomes an ultimate experience of spirituality. If they are not integrated, the ritual becomes simply a process. And you think that pouring some stuff on the lingam helps you purify. Arey yaar, why you are purifying a lingam that is already pure? Have you ever thought it is not that lingam that requires purification? If you understood what that lingam is, and especially if that lingam is a representation symbolic of Omkara, then or Panchamukeshwar, then you actually know, my God, what I am doing, this process is such an ultimate experience of the spiritual being within. So then we go through the body, we go through the emotions associated with the mind, then we come to a point beyond those two. Here, in being that avatatya dhanuhu, keep aside your bow, sahasraksha, the one with infinite number of perceptions, shete shudhe, the one storing innumerable number of images, nishirya shalyanam, as that thought is coming out as an arrow, blunt the sharpness of it and be still auspicious, and a mind that is completely still. Sumana bhava, Shivo naha, Sumana bhava, bhaveti bhava, bhava iti bhava. To be is to be. Bhaveti bhava, bhava iti bhava. To be is to be. Are, people ask, but sir, How can I be? What is the method, process to be? How do I write an SOP about that so that everybody can follow the same protocol like a flock of sheep and a herd of cows, and we all want to follow each other and become like sheep and cows, looking at some icon and then try to become that rather than to be. Are bhai, there is no formula, da. Only you know your mind, nobody else knows it. If every one of us has one mind, life will be so bloody boring. Keep us entertained. Bhaveti bhava. To be is to be. Okay. Now let's go to the next one. Samhita Patha. Chandrasekhar Ganeshan. Vijjandhanuhu. Yeah. Are you chanting in mute?
Yeah, one second, Anna. Om Bijjandanuh. Sorry. Bijjandanuh kapardino vishalyo barnavagum uta aneshannasyeshava abhurasya nishangatihi.
Abhurasya isn't a anudattam?
Which one? Yes. Abhurasya. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you chanting it with seeing the book or without seeing the book?
With seeing the book.
You should chant without seeing the book, then you will know whether you nailed it. If somebody asks you to chant number 12, can you chant that without looking at the book? Then you know you got it, at least mentally. Okay, now
Yeah.
chant one more time.
Om Vijjandhanuh kapardino vishalyo barnavagum uta aneshannasyeshava abhurasya nishangatihi.
Hmm, better. That is the other thing. If you think you are perfect in Rudram, chant each rook slowly, not like the super speed Ekadasi Rudrabhishekam. And then ask the question, have I met all the, without looking at the book, and then listen to it yourself and see how many places I am off on pronunciation, swara, duration, all those aspects. Now, Vijjandhanuhu. Vijjamiti Vijjam. Can you project the Krama Patha? I am doing the Pada Patham now. Vijjamiti Vijjam Dhanuhu Kapardinaha Vishalya iti Vishalya Banavaniti Bana Van Uta Aneshan Aneshan Asya Ishavaha Abhuhu Asya Nishangatihi. That is the Padapatha. Vijyamiti Vijjam. We'll look at the meaning of it after we go through the Kramapatha. Srividya there?
Yeah. I can silence.
Chant the Samhita Pata first, you, without seeing the book.
विजन्धनुः विजन्धनुः कपर्दिनो विशल्यो बाणवागुमुत अनेशन्नस्येषव आभुरस्य निषङ्गतिः.
One more time. Om. You start with Om.
ॐ विजन्धनुः कपर्दिनो विशल्यो बाणवागुमुत अनेशन्नस्येषव आभुरस्य निषङ्गतिः.
Everything good? What do you think is the error? Without looking at the book. Okay, maybe you can now look at the Samhita Pata and say what is the error.
The no, I went up.
Ah. Kapardino. See, that is, you say Kapardino. If you do that, the meaning changes. Only the swara change will cause the change in the meaning. Okay, so we have to be careful with the swara as much as we are with the words themselves. Okay. One more time, now chant properly and then we go into the Krama part. Om.
ॐ विजन्धनुः कपर्दिनो विशल्यो बाणवागुम् उत अनेशन्नस्येषव आभुरस्य निषङ्गतिः.
Also slower speed. Vijandhana kapardino vishalyo banavagum ota. Like that, if you chant, then you will connect to every syllable. Vijandhano kapardino vishalyo banavagum uta aneshannasyeshava abhurasya nishangatihi. That is the speed. Then you will know every syllable, every letter. Without that, Kramapatham will become difficult because then you are wondering how this is split like this, how that is split like that. Yeah? You want to chant one more time, following that speed, and then we go into Kramapatha.
ॐ विजन्धनुः कपर्दिनो विशल्यो बाणवागुम् उत अनेशन्नस्येषव आभुरस्य निषङ्गतिः.
Good. But what is the thing place where you needed help? Aneshannasya va, there should be a virama, short virama. Is it long virama or short virama? It is should be long virama, right? Because it is.
But it's a
Oh
short.
no, sorry, it is short vowel followed by long, so it should be short virama. Aneshannasya abhurasya. So when you listen to the church, ya etavanta, see, you will notice Agnishchama, Indrascha me. So you will notice all those subtleties. That's a perfect vibration. So ane shan asya ishava becomes an this beautiful look at those look at these words aneshan aneshan asya ishavaha becomes aneshanasyesha va. sa, sha, sha. All sha, sa, sha. All the three are there. But if you have no idea what those three sibilants are, ane sannasya sava you say, or ane sannasya shava, or shya shava, all those things are errors in pronunciation. People that are on this class that are joining Rudram practices, and you know, what most of the people, uncle, when we chant very fast, we are perfect with each other. That is called delusion. No, you are not. Somebody else is chanting, and you are just thinking that you are chanting properly. Ane ane shanna sha va. Okay. Today turned into Rudram practice class. Okay. Let us go into Kramapatha now. Om Vijyamiti Vijam
ॐ विज्जमिति विज्जम्
Sairam, we start with
O
Vijayandhanu.
Vijjandhanuhu
Vidyandhanu,
Vijjandhanuhu
विज्जन्धनुः विज्जन्धनुः
Vijyamiti Vijam
विज्जमिति विज्जम् विज्जमिति विज्जम्
Dhanuh Kapardinaha
धनुः कपर्दिनः धनुः कपर्दिनः
Kapardino Vishalyaha
कपर्दिनो विशल्यः कपर्दिनो विशल्यः
Vishalyo Banavan
विशल्यो बाणवान् विशल्यो बाणवान्
Vishalya iti Vishalyaha
विशल्य इति विशल्यः विशल्य इति विशल्यः
Banavagum Uta
बाणवागुम् उत बाणवागुम् उत
Banavaniti Banavan
बाणवा बाणवानिति बाणवान् बाणवानिति बाणवान्
Utetyuta
उतेत्युत उतेत्युत
Aneshannasya
अनेशन्नस्य अनेशन्नस्य
Asyeshavah
अस्येषवः अस्येषवः
Ishava Abhuhu Ishava Ishava Abhuhu
ईशव आभुः ईशव आभुः
Abhurasya
आभुरस्य आभुरस्य
Asya Nishangatihi
अस्य निषङ्गतिः अस्य निषङ्गतिः
निषङ्गथिरिति निषङ्गथिः
निषङ्गथिरिति निषङ्गथिः
iti should be short. निषङ्गथिरिति निषङ्गथिः
निषङ्गथिरिति निषङ्गथिः निषङ्गथिरिति निषङ्गथिः.
So let's look at the whole ruk. ॐ विजन्धनुः विजमिति विजम् धनुः धनुः कपर्दिनः कपर्दिनो विशल्यः विशल्यो बाणवान् विशल्य इति विशल्यः बाणवागुम् उत बाणवानिति बाणवान् उतेत्युत अनेशन्नस्य अस्येषवः ईशव आभुः आभुरस्य अस्य निषङ्गथिः निषङ्गथिति निषङ्गथिः. Yes, ma, one time, please chant.
ॐ विजन्धनुः विजमिति विजम् धनुः कपर्दिनः कपर्दिनो विशल्यः विशल्यो बाणवान् विशल्य इति विशल्यः बाणवागुम् उत बाणवानिति बाणवान् उतेत्युत अनेशन्नस्य अस्येषवः ईशव आभुः आभुरस्य अस्य निषङ्गथिः निषङ्गथिरिति निषङ्गथिः.
Good. So if you go back that V, whenever you see the V, those are short. So Vijja, Vi, Om, Vijamiti, Vi. That's it, right? You cannot say Vijamiti, Vi, Vi. No. Vijamiti, Vi, Jam. Right? So it's another place, right? Bana Vaniti Bana Bana. So it's not a Dirgham as Bana. Okay. What is all this? What are all the things here? There is Dhanu, there is Shalya, there is Bana, there is Ishava, there is Nishangati. These are the ones that are present with who? A guy called Kapardi. there is a guy called Kapardi, and this Kapardi has a dhanu, and he has a shalya, he has a bana, and he also has a ishava, and nishangati. What are all these things? And why does this guy called Kapardi has all these things? Yes. What is happening here? Dhanu, open up Shyam Sundar, Madan Mohan Radhe Gopal. Yes. What is Dhanu?
Bow. Bow.
Bow.
Bow.
Oh, bow. Yeah. What is Shalya? What is Ban? No, Vijjandhanu, Kapar, Vishalya. Yeah. Shalya. Shalya. Okay.
Uh,
What is Bana? Okay. Wrong person, maybe. Let's go to somebody who knows the meaning. Swati. Don't look at the
Is
book.
it arrows? Bana is arrows.
No. Okay, now I have to do these multiple choice drop down questions. Bana. Please tell what Bana is. A, this. B, this. C, this. D, this. Okay. Bana. Who knows what Bana is? Sita?
Quiver.
Huh?
Quiver.
Quiver. Yeah. Quiver. What is what is what is Ishava? Sita, you can
Ish,
continue.
arrows.
Arrows. Nishangati. Gathi. Nishangati. Nishangati.
Um, Shangati is the sword, the sheath of sword.
Sheath of the sword. Yeah. And who is Kapardi?
The one
What does
with matted
Kapardi?
hair.
One with matted hair. Vijam. Jam. Artini your jam. We already looked at that previous one. Huh? Artini yoh jam. Jam means what?
The string of the bow.
String. Vi jam dhanuhu means the bow that is freed of the string, that is dissociated with the string. Bow that is dissociated with the string. Vi jam. Vi jamiti vi jam. See, now you see. Vi jamiti vi jam. That is why learning Kramapata helps. Oh, jam is a different word. Vi jam means dissociated of this string, this dhanu. Vijjamiti vijjam dhanuhu kapardinaha. Kapardinaha means the one who is matted hair. Now he has a dhanu, that is vijjamiti vijjam dhanuhu. Kapardino vishalyaha. This Kapardina also has Shalya, that is Vishalya. Vishalya iti Vishalyaha. Shalya means the arrow, and that Vishalya means an arrow without a pointed end. So this fellow this Kapardina, whoever it is, has a bow that is without a string, an arrow without a piercing end, and also in addition, Uta means in addition, he also has a Bana Van. Banavan means the quiver, Banavan iti, Banavan. And his Bana, the quiver, is full of these arrows that don't have piercing ends. Okay, that's what it means. He has a bow without attached to a string, and he has a quiver full of arrows without piercing ends. And Asya Ishavaha, and the Ishava means the arrows of his Aneshan, Aneshan means they're also incapable of piercing. Aneshan means incapable of piercing. Arey, how can an arrow be like that which is incapable of piercing? He has arrows, but those arrows don't pierce. Arey, why does this fellow have all these things? Have you thought about it? You see how see the beautiful picture is painted. You have a guy with matted hair, and he has a bow without string. He has a quiver filled with arrows without pointing ends. And also Asya Ishavaha, the arrows are Aneshan, incapable of piercing. And on the top of it, he also has a sword, Ni Shangatihi. Asya Nishangatihi is the sheath, doesn't have a sword in it. It is just a support for the sword. Abhuhu. That is the picture. What do you make of all of these things? So go back to our Da Vinci codes. Now I will ask, what is jam? Now Chandrasekhar, Ganesh, what is the string? Okay, let's start with the dhanu. What is the dhanu applying to us?
Dhanu is the mind.
Mind. What is the string?
Is, the
What is
intellect.
the string? A. Instinct. B. Desire. C. Thought.
Yes.
D. None of the above.
It's the desire.
Final answer?
Yes.
Okay, good. You have become a karodpati. Desire. Okay. Bow, mind, dissociated from desire. Arrow. What is quiver? Quiver. What is quiver?
Where is the emotions, the storage of all the emotions?
What is the quiver? A. Okay. Uh, quiver is the emotions. True or false? Sita.
False.
False. What is the quiver? Swati. What is
No,
the
I
quiver?
can't.
Sita. We have two S's, Sita and Swati.
instincts.
Okay. Quiver is the place where the instincts are stored, but quiver is chitta, the place of storage. Chitta, conscience. And it is full of instincts that are without piercing ends. What are arrows? Chandrasekhar.
Yeah, the thoughts.
Very good. Without any phone the friend, he answered. Okay. Uh, today, today has become kaun banega karodpati, who wants to be the millionaire in the spiritual world. Yeah. So thoughts that are incapable of what?
Hurting.
Hurting. What is the sword? Chandrasekhar.
Buddhi.
English.
Intellect.
Okay. Nishangatihi is simply a support for the sword. That is the meaning of inner meaning. So, what is the quintessence inner meaning? Sham Sundar, summarize based on all this. We're having study circle. Huh?
Yes. Mm, don't the mind, the thoughts don't hurt, I guess. Don't use them to hurt.
No, you have to know this is where the real scientific mind comes into. When you do an experiment with materials, you produce results, and now you start giving an abstract and then you're describing the conclusion. Then what you have to do, you have to take all the words put together and now construct sentences based on those. Ah, please do this. We just went to we start with the one kapardinaha, the matted hair one. Who wants to do this? Sri Vidya, you want to
Can
do
I
this?
can I try, Anna? Oh, sorry. Okay.
So the one who has all of these emotions and instincts and desires, they should try to unravel the desires, detach themselves from the desires, and try to focus on only the good.
Oh, you have to now look
Renunciate.
at the rook विज्जन्धनुः कपर्दिनः विशल्यः बाणवान् उत अन्शन् अस्य इषवः आभुः अस्य निषङ्गतिः. So now I'm doing this exercise with you on the fly. So it is referring to this Kapardina. So the one with the matted hair, one with the matted hair is a renunciate because he's not doing shampooing every day, taking care of his hair, doesn't have body consciousness in the context of attachment to the body, dissociated from body consciousness. That is who is the matted hair kapardinaha. What happens to him? That means what is his state? What is his state is what this mantra is looking at. Now, Chandrasekhar, you volunteered. Go ahead. I want you to use the words and then describe the meaning.
Yeah. So for a person, when the mind is disassociated from the desires and the base instincts, For such a person, the action that he performs do not hurt uh, others.
Where is the action in this mantra? Which word
The
you are
not the
referring
action,
to?
the issue, the the thoughts produced from him do not hurt others.
Close enough, but not completely aligned, right? You have to take the mantra, go take the mantra, and then you're getting there, but mind without desire. Just look at the sentences. Mind without desire. Instincts are a quiver filled with instincts, or conscience filled with instincts that are incapable of that don't have piercing ends. Thoughts that are incapable of hurting, and the intellect is simply a sheath of support. It doesn't carry the sword to hurt anyone. For who? Kapardinaha. Are we are we all aligned? Murti garu anta చక్కగానే ఉందా? ఏదో డీప్ మెడిటేషన్లోకి వెళ్ళవాకండి. వింటున్నారా? So, what is the essence of this? What is Madhuri? What did you get out of this? Durga Prasad ki burra
Oh,
తిరిగిపోతుంది.
I was contemplating the neutral mind of a Godhead, of and that that as a human individual, that God doesn't really hurt us with piercing arrows or swords, or
Who is
but
who is the God here? There is no reference to any God in this mantra.
well, the matted hair.
Who is the matted hair one?
I saw that as yes, he is disassociated from body consciousness, but it's also in a way he doesn't care to fit into societal norms. And
Okay.
that being
So
is
the first and foremost you have to say is, how does this apply to me? Forget God somewhere. Forget a picture of some God with a matted hair. Forget all of that stuff. Because that is external projection. Your mind is still projecting externally. Project it internally. How does that mean? I mean, we are going through a process of self-knowledge here. Brahma Vidya. This self-knowledge is not about knowing others. Knowing about your own self. Now, what is that self? That is, I'm not going to get into matted hair here. Means when you renunciate, when you are a renunciate, you still have a mind, but the mind is dissociated from desire. You still have an instinct, and you have an instinct, but that instinct doesn't express to achieve something at the expense of something else. Piercing ends. You still have thoughts, but those thoughts are not about hurting others. And you are completely present to yourself beyond body consciousness. Kapardinaha. And are we Abani? What is your perspective after listening?
Yeah, pretty much what you're saying, but I was thinking about what is the kapardina, how that relates to what a renunciate does. So would that mean that the intellect is used, not used, or
Intellect is, is the intellect used or not used? Now, you see, we in the process of this coming to this mantra, look at what all has transcended, right? Yeah, that is what you have to keep that in the background, not look at this mantra in all these things that we have talked about. We have come beyond the senses. The senses are pure. The emotions are pure. There is the mind is completely, purified, right? Purified. And now we're coming to a state of conscious that is pure, conscience that is completely pure. The water is pure, but the water still is shaky, and the shakiness of the water still is not completely reflecting the source, the sun, 100% in perfection. Therefore, now we are coming to stillness of the tools. The tools are there, but the tools are no longer, quote unquote, used in a mode of selfishness. They are completely with the self, but not in selfishness. They are no longer fish that stink and that move. The two properties of the fish, stinking and moving, with all due respect to the fish lovers. Okay. Huh?
Sairam
Anil?
uncle,
Yeah,
the part that I'm not able to connect to is intellect is just there supporting what?
just as a support. Supporting
If
what?
it's not doing anything, what is it supporting?
If it is not doing anything, is it useless? Oh, no, no, this is very important. Your vacuum cleaner right now in your closet is not doing anything. Your car is sitting in the garage, not doing anything. But does it mean that it is useless? See, our perception of the tool is that it is only about its usefulness. Otherwise, we think, if you are not using a tool, is it useless? Are just answer the question. Your car is sitting in the garage right now, not doing anything. Is it useless?
And then doesn't it get rusty though?
No, I'm not asking the question. You keep it there forever and then you go on vacation and come back, battery is dead. That's not what I am talking about. I'm talking about right now. Your vacuum cleaner is sitting in your closet, not doing anything. Does it mean it is useless?
No, you bring it out when needed.
Yeah, exactly. So a renunciate will use intellect if it is needed, use the thought when it is needed, react to an instinct when it is needed. Otherwise, what does he do?
Set it aside.
Kapardinaha. He asked the question, what is Kapardinaha? What does it mean, a renunciate? A renunciate means not a useless fellow. Ayyo. Our perception of a renunciate, he is a useless. He is useless fellow. Because he doesn't use. ఉపయోగించండి. So, you know, what, what, what we are talking about, if you understood this, you understood why Bhagavan Ramana said, Chumma iru, Chumma iru, be still, be still. That is your being. Be still. It doesn't mean when you have to use it, you don't use it. but use it without hurting others. Use it without piercing ends. Use it and then keep it aside. Avatatya dhanuhu. This is if you really understood what Rudram is and why Bhagavan Sri Satsai Baba insisted that everybody should learn and practice Rudram in their lives. Now you understand. At least you become aware. What an incredible thing he has done by inspiring and lighting the fire in millions of the people who had not even a clue of what is Rudram, and bringing them all together with this Atirudra Mahayajna, not for them just to come and throw stuff in the fire, but to actually connect to the fire of wisdom that is resonating in your hearts and say, I shall burn myself in this wisdom and emerge great, grand, holy. That is the message of Zoroastrianism, Zarathustra. Why that is? Because next week is Navroz, celebration of Zoroastrianism. And this awareness doesn't just keep itself to this iconic Shiva idol and then doing these abhishekams and think that if you pour something on the lingam, then you are purified. That is the, at least, Murti garu anta baane undi kada. Okay.
To
Sai Ram.
unmute.
Yeah, Sai Ram.
Thank you.
Sai Ram. So that is a Chandrasekhar, you have a question? Thank you, Murti garu, for stopping me on my extempore. Appreciate that.
No, Anna, you are asking about the quintessential message. So I was thinking if it's the Swami's quote of help ever, hurt never. Is that the quintessential message?
Yeah, that is true. But you see, that is the other thing that we have a problem with, is that we just use the words, but we have no complete connectivity to what is the origin of all of that stuff. Yes. Durga Prasad ఎక్కిందా తోకొక్కటే మిగిలిందా
ఇంకా ఎక్కలేదు సార్ ఇంకా
I was asking if it got in and only tail is remaining, and he said it has not got in yet. So he's still watching the mouse, trying to get into the hole. Okay. Don't get your heads hurt. Permanent head damage. You will all turn into PhDs. Permanent head damage. Sairam, are there any questions? Otherwise, what time is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Anna, who's the Rishi for this?
Narada, same as the
Same?
previous one. Yes. Okay. Narada is the Rishi, and Anushtup is the Chandas, Rudra is the deity. Vijjandhanuhu Kapardinaha. Now, why this level of introspection is happening is to get to that point of automatically next time when you are chanting, your focus is going to go into, oh, how is this mantra taking me inside? Taking me inside. Take it inside. And then what happens is, at least the effort. Something he said, Dhanu is mind, this and that. A time will come when the mind, after chanting, hundreds of thousands of times, the mind will get bored of chanting. I am telling you, that's why people show up in North Carolina after second Anuvakam round is completed for the Rudram. Because for them, coming on time, sitting through 45 minutes of preamble is waste of time. I was watching yesterday. You all think that, on the Zoom call, when he was doing Sankalpam, only Chandrasekhar, Ganesh, and maybe a couple people were there. The rest of them are all coming because it's waste of time, Are ayana 35 నిమిషాలు 45 minutes he'll be doing some Lagunya, some Sankalpam, this and that. It is not relevant to our round, our 10th round chanting. No, why we should go at Sankalpam? We should go at 8th round, so we finish chanting the 10th round. and then pour some water and milk on the lingam. We are purified. We are very happy. We also put a check mark. We also conducted a Maharudram and we also attended a Maharudram. Check mark, and our lives are sanctified. This is what's called religion. You have no connectivity to what is happening there. You don't even understand what sankalpam is, what nyasam is, why you should be there, what is the purpose of it. మైక్ తీసుకోవటం కుమ్మటమే, and then we are done with it. Arey, please, brothers and sisters, wake up. That's not the purpose of Satya Sai Baba's mission, for all of us to turn into some expert Rudram chanters. If that is the case, he would have done like this and we would all have turned into great Rudram chanters. He did not even require us to learn all of this, to practice all of this. God, at the wink of his eye, చిటికలో చిన్మయుల్ని చేసేస్తాడు భగవంతుడు. మృణ్మయుల్ని చిన్మయుల్ని చేసేస్తాడు. That is, I have to use his words, that is, mrunmaya becomes chinmaya just by a snap of Bhagavan. But he doesn't do that. He can transform, could have transformed 6 billion to turn into spiritual people. He doesn't do that. Why? Because that's not why he has come. He has to only transform. And the transformation happens through sadhana, through consistency, to continuity, to be in the satsang, and to go and learn this and understand what's the purpose. Why am I doing this? What is the purpose of this Maharudram or Atirudram or Rudram? Why did he say Rudram Zadite Bhadrangga Untaru? You will be Bhadram if you chant Rudram. Not because you chant Rudram, because you become aware of Rudram. This is the quintessence of why we are in this practice. And that's why the context of constantly asking people, join practices, be part of it, and hundreds of thousands of times when it happens, at one point the mind gets bored and it says, why am I doing this? And the lower mind will drop it. Hare hum to bas ho gaya. We have chanted so many Rudrams, we are expert Rudrams. Let us now turn into Lalita Sahasranamam. Let us now turn into some other thing. Let us now turn into some other thing. It's a bored mind. That's not what we are looking at. We are looking at a mind that is still and consistent. Yes, Madhuri, my hand is hurting.
Well, when Shekharji, when you asked me to reflect inside about it, and you started off today's class by mentioning the gentleman who was able to recover himself from illness by using this amazing grace of a chant and practice, I began to think about the arrows that are no longer sharp, but they're blunted. And when I think, as I've been practicing Rudram and Chamakam as well as the others, one thing that's become very sweet in me is that I've learned to pause in conversation with family members and others and really take the time to reflect on how it is that I want those words to come out and whether I want the words to come out at all and at what time is the best. And I think that what that really means to me is that there inside us all there are spears and arrows, but if we practice long enough, we can we can dull them so that we can be kind to ourselves and others in a way that leaves the world more harmonious, but yet impacted.
Beautiful. That is so beautiful and profound. Life slows down. What she's saying, not slow down from we are all trained that if you are fast, if you are so achieving, you are this and that, you are so perfect and all of that stuff. Run, 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 busy, busy, go through all of that stuff. But truly speaking, what she's talking about, as you begin to watch even what you speak before you speak, and only apply one metric, is what I'm going to be fitting 3 criteria. A, is it truthful? B, is it useful? C, is it meaningful? Just just before you speak, if you apply those 3 criteria, watch how much your words will slow down. Just watch. Just that's exactly what it means. Use it as you see fit, but just don't throw it. Just watch that, only speech. That then you will begin to watch your breath, because you will create more timing for breathing. Because imagine if you are just sitting and listening to an individual, not trying to formulate an answer to what they are saying. Are you understanding what I'm saying? 99% of our state of mind is, when somebody is speaking, how to formulate an answer to what they are saying. True or not true? But instead of trying to formulate an answer, if you just say, I want to listen to this person, not to answer, unless they ask, can you please now speak, or can you please answer, then how that will look? You will notice that you will be breathing perfectly as you are listening to the person. You begin to breathe perfectly. And as you begin to breathe perfectly, you will begin to notice that you will slow down on your speech and you will slow down on your thought. Not that they are useless, then they become more useful, truthful, and meaningful. Because in truth, you say, if I say this to myself, I am listening to myself. And if I say this to myself, how would I feel? Okay, that's what Madhuri, I'm expanding on what Madhuri's explanation is. Now I'm very, very blessed that we have such satsang in this classes, and that this satsang helps us become more grounded into this Rudram. So this is not just to teach some Kramapatam and then suddenly you become an expert in Kramapatam or Rudram, or you are actually begin to understand what life is and how that translates into living. With that, let's chant the Yadaksharapada Bhrashtam. Can you project it on the screen? And may I request Sister Madhuri to chant it.
ॐ यदक्षरपदभ्रष्टं मात्राहीनं तु यद्भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देव नारायण नमोऽस्तु ते विसर्गबिन्दुमात्राणि पदपादाक्षराणि च न्यूनानि चातिरिक्तानि क्षमस्व स ईश्वर अपराधसहस्राणि क्रियन्ते हर्निशं मया दासोऽयमिति मां मत्वा क्षमस्व स ईश्वर अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम तस्मात् कारुण्यभावेन रक्ष रक्ष स ईश्वर हरि ओं तत्सत् श्री स ईश्वरार्पणमस्तु स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्याय्येन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यम् समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु samasta lokaha sukhino bhavantu. Samasta lokaha sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Jai Bolo Bhagavan Sri Satyabhava. Jai.
Jai.
Ji ki jai.
Sai Ram, thank you. Jai Bolo Bhagwan Shri Satya Sai Baba Ji ki
Ji ki jai.
Jai. Jai Sai Ram.